Phil, welcome back to Southend United. How does it feel to be back here?
It's a little bit different. It's a bit weird, to tell you the truth. I was driving this morning from the Cotswolds, from my country home, where I moved to when I moved away from Southend. I went to Swindon and I moved across there, and I've missed it, to tell you the truth. It's a lovely part of the world. I like it myself. I like the club. And as I was driving on the M25 and the 127 this morning, coming back, I didn't know what I was feeling. I was excited. Of course I was excited because I'm back in the game. I've been to India for the last 2 or 3 years and away from English football, and I've missed it, to tell you the truth. I've missed the fact that the competitive edge, not the technical edge, more the competitive edge, and we've got a hell of a challenge on our hands. You know, we've got Ron painted the picture when I met him on in the week. He painted the picture of 6 games to go. We all know what that means. There's a points total that everybody wants to achieve and thinks they can achieve, but I ain't going to go past anything apart from tomorrow. I think Crawley's the most important part of that 6-game run because it's the next game, and I know you get managers say that. It's not easy to say it when you've got 6 games and that's all you've got, 6 games. But the next one is certainly the most important. I've just met with the players this morning for the first time, and I've met with the backroom staff, of which we've had a little bit of a reshuffle. I've asked them to put their lives on hold for a month, which mine will certainly be. And what I mean by putting my lives on hold is just ploughing all our efforts, all our energies into a survival campaign. 6 games means 18 points, but again, I don't want to go past the first one. It's that first 3 points. If we can get 3 points on board, then what I've witnessed in training today is a talented group. A very talented group, and I looked at the technical side of the game, and it's there for me to see, and hopefully it'll be there for everybody to see on show tomorrow. But it's not just the technical side that we need. I think we need the physical side and we need the mental side, but we need a game plan, and that game plan, if fingers crossed, will be implemented to every degree that I'm going to explain to the players, then we have every chance of winning that first game. But if they don't, sometimes you slip back into ways, and when you look at that league table, it doesn't tell a lie. I'm not making any great claims here. You know, we're second bottom of the division, but I'm feeling responsible for that now because I've decided to accept the challenge. So we're second bottom of the division. For to win games of football, we've got to do certain things right and do certain things right in the right areas of the pitch. And if we get that right tomorrow, then we'll have a chance of winning the game.
Yeah, of course, great success that you did enjoy here in your last spell, but like you've touched on there, it is in the midst of a relegation battle now, and league safety is on the line. So you've kind of touched on there what it's going to take for us to stay up. Just expand a bit on that, on what you feel like you can bring to this squad of players.
Well, I think the squad of players, what I witnessed today is I just asked them to do certain things in training today, and they did it to the best of their ability, and all of a sudden the ball was starting to get popped around to a degree which was a standard above where we are. And what I mean by that is I've been a coach for a long time now. I've been in every division in the English leagues, and I've seen standards of play, and I'm looking at standards of play, and I know we've got some experienced guys. 1 or 2 of them weren't available today, but the ones that we have got, I can see that like so Ricky Holmes, he was popping the ball about like I witnessed on many a times on the wrong end of it. You know, I was playing against Portsmouth, and he was a constant thorn in your side. And you see that level of quality, and it drags 1 or 2 players up with you, you know, and the level of quality gets raised. But it's that mistake that you've got to try and disguise or hide or keep away or try and block out altogether, because mistakes are costly when you're at the bottom of the division. Mistakes are so costly. It's not just in goals, it's in confidence levels of the group. So if we can avoid them mistakes and try and hide them as best we possibly can, and hopefully the energy levels that the change of management always brings, hopefully that energy level can be steered in the right direction, and with that, hopefully there's a game plan that can go and win the game. And if we win that first game, then who knows what happens in the next game, but you'll have that confidence restored, and players start believing in what you're telling them.
It is such a short space of time that you've got to try and turn things around. But does it help that you're coming to a club that, of course, you know and you've spent a long time at, and also some players as well that were here when you were last here?
I don't know the answer to that one, because I've never gone back to a club, and I've been involved in 5 or 6 clubs now, and I've never actually gone back to a club. That doesn't mean taking a step backwards in terms of a career. That just means going back to a club that are looking for help and are in trouble. There's no doubt about it. So the two scenarios I've painted there, they're looking for help and they've come to a guy who knows the club, which makes a lot of sense. They're in trouble, and can I get them out of trouble? That's the big question, and nobody knows that answer yet. All I can do is use the experience that I've got as a manager, as a coach, as an ex-player, and knowing what the players are thinking and feeling is a key component of that. Knowing how to try and alleviate that by cutting out the mistakes and playing in a certain way, that is a key factor for me. And being able to implement that in a short space of time, I think that's going to be the big test for me. I've only had one day working today, and if you call this working, I'll show you what working really is. And what I mean by that is, you know, you're coming into a training ground, sun's shining, players have got a smile on their face, there's been a change of incumbent, they've got a fresh voice, they've got a fresh outlook, and straight away you've got a smile because of that. But I've got to implement my ways as opposed to Mark's. I'm not here to slag anybody off. I think Mark, very difficult circumstances, came in and did a reasonable job, and it's one of them where I've got to take over from that because of the league position. I'm not blaming anybody for the situation. I'm actually trying to get out of the situation that we're in. The reality is we're second bottom. We've got to finish third bottom. If we do, that's a success story. Now, if anybody has said to me at the start of the season, you finish one place higher in 6 games, I would accept that challenge. Doesn't matter what the circumstances were. I've had many challenges in my time as a coach, as a manager. This is probably going to be the shortest. This is probably going to be the most difficult. But it's very achievable.
And of course we touched on some familiar faces in the squad, but of course in your backroom staff as well, guys like Ricky Duncan, who you know and worked with previously, and Craig Fagan, who you managed at Hull of course as well. Just tell us what they will bring to the group. The
backroom staff are always important because, you know, I know where Craig Fagan's concerned. Craig's got ambitions to be a manager, and hopefully he can learn a little bit from what happens in the next 4 weeks. As a player, he was a never say die attitude. He always did what it said on the tin. You know, he had pace, he worked hard, got in the opposition's face, and he did that at the highest level under myself at Hull City. And because of that alone got us to areas of the world of football that we never thought we'd ever get to. You know, a second year in the Premier League and the top 6 in the Premier League, and all of that was down to hard work and attitude. And Craig's got that. As a coach, I've heard good things about him, not just from Ricky Duncan, from a lot of people in the game, and I'm looking forward to working with that. You know, a fresh-faced coach, new ideas. Where Ricky's concerned, I've classed Ricky Duncan as a very good friend. When I first came to Southend United, everybody told me to be wary of him because he had an opinion. As far as I was concerned, that's all I want. I want people's opinions, then I make a decision based on people's opinions. We can't always be right, you know, and not everybody can share the same opinion as me. I like a little bit of conflict. I like a little bit of, you know, somebody disagreeing with you and saying, I wouldn't do it this way, I would do it that way. And with that, hopefully we'll get the right decision-making process behind the scenes, that we can get the right 11 with the right formation and the right tactics to go and win that first game against Crawley Town, and then hopefully build upon that in the next week. But we've had one day to work at it. You know, we've had probably an hour and a half on the ground today. They know a little bit more about me. They'll know a little bit more about me when they meet me again tomorrow. They'll be doing their research on half-time team talks and stupid things like that. But, you know, it's not a case of that now. It's a case of responding to what I'm saying to them, understanding that I've been around the game of football for over 40 years now. So I should know what I'm talking about. And if I don't, then I'll leave here with my tail between my legs, and we won't have survived. But I'm telling you that with the 6 games that we've got, I think it's a great challenge. Every game's winnable, starting with Crawley Town tomorrow.
That's right, and it's all gets underway for you here tomorrow at Crawley Town. You'll be standing in that dugout just along the side over there. How you know, what sort of challenge do you expect from them? Crawley Town side managed by John Yems.
Yeah, I think as a technical team, I think it'll be a team that's trying to play football. I think it's a team that knows they've got enough points now, and are probably know that they're going to be in the second division next year. I don't think they've got any chance of getting towards the playoff situation, even if they won all 7 games that they've got left. But at the same time, you know, it's always a challenge. It's 11v11. It's tactics against tactics. It's against one guy facing. He probably didn't. He'd be looking along that touchline and thinking, I didn't think I would be facing Phil Brown. Now all of a sudden he's got a different challenge. What does that matter when it comes down to 3 o'clock and them players cross the white line? It doesn't really matter. But at the same time, I've got to prepare my team as best I possibly can, and hopefully, as I say, the information that they've received today, they'll carry out accordingly in the 2 hours that follows the 3 o'clock. What John will bring to the party, I think, will just be a technical side of the game that I haven't been used to for the last 2 or 3 years, so I better get to grips with it quite quickly.